I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda will be the approval of the library board meeting minutes from August 27th, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I move we approve the minutes of August 27th.
And a second?
I second.
Chair Jamie Merchant.
Yes. Do I need to ask you to take the roll call?
No.
I still do. No. Okay. Moving on to the consent calendar.
We're
Voting and still in process.
Voting to the minutes.
Aisha,
Approved.
trustee Sharice Leonard.
Okay. Moving on, the meeting's minutes were approved. Moving on to the consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine matters, status reports, documents covering previous library board of trustee items. The items listed on the consent calendar may be enacted in one motion with the concurrence of the library board of trustees. A trustee or any person in attendance may request for an item to be moved for further consideration. Does anybody have any questions regarding anything on the consent calendar? Okay. May I get a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
In a second?
I second it.
All right, and we'll vote.
Oh,
Trustee Aisha Kennerly.
approved.
Trustee Sharice Leonard.
The consent calendar is approved. Any communication from the public? Ms. Backus?
No communications from the public.
Administrative reports. The library report for September 2024. Ms. Finch.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So we are very excited to be starting our fall programming. We've wrapped up our very busy summer, and we have a wide array of fall programming and activities that we are getting ready to head into. So in our library report, we'll be providing an update on some of these activities, which include our start of our career online high school. We also have an update on some fall programs, which include a new program, Carve and Coffee. Ms. Whittington will be talking about some opportunities to carve pumpkins and drink coffee at the same time. We also have an update on our grants that we received for the library, as well as some upcoming events that we have planned during the month of October. And then also, of course, we have our top titles for the month of August for both fiction, nonfiction, as well as ebooks. We'll be discussing that as well. And then an update on our Heritage Room, which has been under construction for the last several months, and we are getting very close to wrapping that up and getting ready for our grand opening. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Whittington to provide the library report.
Good evening, Madam Chair, trustees, and Director Finch. So I always like to highlight some items or resources that I don't think get enough love. So this month, I'm going to highlight the Career Online High School. And this is in partnership with the California State Library and the Smart Horizons Career Online Education. And it gives adults the opportunity to earn an accredited high school diploma and career certificate through the Career Online High School. Once you are enrolled in the program, the high school pairs each student with an online academic coach, so they get resources to career paths, guidance. They can evaluate their performance and then also assist them with resources that they may need. Students are given up to 18 months to complete the program, and to begin an application, any interested parties can go on our website to complete the readiness survey. So this is a very fun event that our LCE, our Literacy and Community Engagement team, has put together. It's Carve and Coffee. And so we want you to come, get into the Halloween spirit with some free pumpkin carving. We're going to have coffee, and we'll have some additional fall treats, but then we'll also be showing the movie The Mummy. The ages are 18 and up, and the program is free. And I did need to note that this has been getting a lot of engagement on our social media. So if you want to come, I would say come early. It's on October 11th, starting at 7. So here are some grants that we were awarded within the past month. The first is the Groundworks grant. We received about $9,500 from the Groundworks grant with funding from the state of California, and then that's also in partnership with the Northeast Document Conservation Center, and also the Ready or Not preservation. So we are going to be able to have consultants come to the library free of charge to identify any sort of risk to our collections, and also to items that may be stored in the heritage room. And then we also are going to be receiving environmental monitoring and alert equipment, disaster spill kits, and we also received some additional money for archival boxes that'll help with the longevity of our collections. We also received the approval for the California Library Literacy Services Grant in the amount of $65,396 for our adult and family literacy grant projects that are occurring this year. And then lastly, we have been approved for the zip books for the 24-25 year. I'm still waiting on that number, but we hope it's up there because it's a very popular program that we're happy to bring back. And did want to say also thank you to the Friends of the Library for providing money for us to carry over until we receive the funds. So these are some of our upcoming events that are very fun and exciting. So firstly, we have our Star Wars Read program. It's from the 1st through the 31st of October. You can come, you read 5 books, and then you win a prize. And then we have a grand prize drawing at the end of the month, and you could win some really cool Star Wars themed prizes. And then in addition to that, we do have combined story times on October 3rd. It's going to be a Star Wars Read story time. That's when we have these preschool and the little ones all in one room, in the fam room, having one big fun story time. And then on the 31st, we're actually going to have a dedicated Halloween story time where we are encouraging everybody to come in costume. And then after our story time, you can go and trick or treat around the library. We also have zombie dolls. Our team is in the process of spray painting a lot of dolls, which is a very interesting thing to run across when you're going in between offices. So we have 2 events. One is for the older kids, so the 7th through 12th grades, and then also we have ones for the teens as well. So you can come, you can dress and decorate a zombie doll free of charge. Just come hang out at the library. And then lastly, we have our Spooky Steam on October 29th, and you can come and learn some spooky things with Steam in our Maker Exchange. All right, so these are the top titles that were checked out in August. We had Naruto dethrone Pokemon. They're just always fighting for the #1 spot. And then, of course, we have our nonfiction titles. Our primary phonics are always at the top of the charts because they're just very heavily in demand. And then lastly, our top ebooks, Open and Shut by Rosenfeld. Hadn't seen it before, and now I see it. Now it's on my to-read list. So these are some of our top titles in terms of digital downloads. This is our October 2024 library event calendar. So again, it's packed to the gills. We have a new story walk that's going to be Halloween themed. So we encourage people to go out to Mountain Gate Park and walk around, read a story, and hop along with your little ones. And then our calendar has gotten so big that we need a second side. So I did want to mention that we do have Children's Fall paper crafts that are happening on October 15th. We're starting our own mystery book club, so come and join us if that sounds like it's something that you want to do. And then also our Play Cafe has returned. The Heritage Room. Construction is almost complete, and I feel like I say that every time, but I mean it this time. Construction is almost complete. We're waiting for a few more panels of glass to be installed, some holes to be drilled into the desk, and so we are also in the process with our library assistants to bring the special collections up from the where we have stored them. We also need to bring up the special collection shelving that what used to be the former DVD shelves along that back wall. And we're setting up the desks for the staff and the patrons. And my favorite, we are going to be having a memory lab in the Heritage Room. So the memory lab is an area for patrons to come in, and you can take your items and you can digitize them on your own for free. So far, we're going to have scanners, we're going to have DVD, VHS, and reel-to-reel digitizers for the public to use. And then these items are going to be available for appointment because I know that there's a lot of people with VHS tapes that want to digitize them, but we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity. So we're going to have a memory lab. It's going to be really fun. And we are hoping to have a grand reopening at the end of October, but we're going to reach out to the trustees if you guys would like a sneak peek before then. And just looking ahead, just want to reiterate the Star Wars Reads Literacy Program. We encourage people to sign up and apply and participate in that. That's actually going to be on our new reading program, Beanstack. So if you signed up during summer at your library, it's automatically going to be there on October 1st. Did want to remind you, if you did sign up to go to the CLA conference, that's on October 17th, and that's going to be in Pasadena, California. On October 22nd, we have our Library Board of Trustees meeting, and we are going to go over the strategic plan that has finally been completed, and we're going to bring it to the trustees to discuss and have some feedback. And then lastly, again, our Halloween story time, it's going to be a combined story time. We want you to wear your costumes, and we're going to have trick-or-treating in the library. So, any questions?
Ruth?
On this Career Online High School program, how long has that been in existence?
That's a great question. I believe it's something through the California State Library. So I'm assuming that it's been within the last like 5 to 6 years, probably more.
Do you know how many people from Corona are participating?
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can find those numbers for you and send that along.
Get in, they have realistic goals,
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly from our literacy team, we don't really have too many people that drop out. That's something that they are once they are interested in it, they use that 18 months to really help them to succeed in that program.
Very good.
Sheree?
I have a question, Ms. Whittington.
Yes.
You mentioned the memory lab
Yes.
will allow you to transfer VC.
Yeah. Your VHS.
VHS.
Yeah.
And you can translate that?
Yeah, yes. So it'll have the opportunity for you to either download it on your own little flash drive or to potentially email it to yourself on like a cloud application.
Okay.
You said you had to make appointments. So how long is the length of appointments?
So we want to make sure that people have the opportunity to do that. So, your family video VHS, from Christmas of 1996, maybe that lasts 2.5 hours. We want to make sure that you have that space. So we're shooting to have between 2 to 3 hours, depending on the types of items that you have.
That's awesome.
On the Career Online High School, it says open to eligible residents. What is the eligibility criteria?
I believe it's those that are in Corona zip codes. Yeah.
Okay. Couple questions. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I can ask a question while you're looking. We would call in and make an appointment to bring that in, the
Yes.
flash drive?
So we have a LibCal system that allows you to check into, or rather make a reservation for our study rooms. And so we're going to use that same system for people to use the memory lab. So you can make an appointment online, and then we'll be able to access that and know that Trustee Kennerly is coming with her reel-to-reels or something, so that she can digitize it.
Okay, not quite reel to reel.
I don't know what you got. Maybe you have that.
Okay, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Or it's not open yet. Okay, a couple questions. For the spooky steam, is there an age range for that? It didn't list any age range.
don't think so.
on
I think
it.
it's
for
open.
all ages. Okay. And then my other question was, sorry, I know that I wrote something down. Your question. Oh, for the strategic plan.
Yes.
Will we be able to see, is it possible to see a copy of it prior to the October 22nd meeting?
As soon as I receive it from the Library IQ team, I'm fine with sending that out to you so that you have ample opportunity to go through.
Okay, I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes. Where does it say that?
If you go into your photographs and stuff, there's the actual flyer, and at the bottom of the flyer it says ages.
Oh, okay, perfect. 10 and up, okay. That's what I was wondering, 10 and up. Okay, thank you. No other questions, then we can move on to our second library report, right? What is that? Oh, the Friends.
Yes, so I'm going to be reading the Friends of the Library report, and I just wanted to say that if I say we, I mean they. It's not me. So this is from Gretchen Doty. She is the president of the Friends of the Library. So the Friends of the Corona Public Library in 2023 donated $25,000 for new books, and just a month ago in August, we donated another $20,000 for books to start filling those shelves in our community. We funded the Summer at Your Library program this summer with nearly 1,000 children and adult attendees. We attended all 5 Summer Street Fair concerts and gave away approximately 800 books. We are now sponsoring and organizing, with the help of the library staff, a new event called ReaderCon. We've invited 12 children's authors to come to the library on Saturday, September 28th, to talk to 300 to 400 children about writing and reading books. Tonight, Gretchen, would like to invite you to bring your children and grandchildren to our first annual ReaderCon a week from Saturday. Also, one other event we're currently planning is on Saturday, October 26th, where we will once again have our Mystery Crime Authors Lunch. We've invited 4 Southern California mystery writers to discuss their books. Tickets are going fast, and we hope to see some of you there. Thank you, Gretchen Doty.
We just need the correction. It's this coming Saturday. It's not a week from Saturday.
You know, I believe she wrote
it early,
for
Yeah.
the city council
Yeah, I
meeting
just wanted to be sure people realize that.
this Saturday, yes.
I just would like also, so you said 25,000 and then 20,000? So a total of 45,000 that the Friends have donated?
Yes, so for 2023, they donated 25,000, and then for fiscal year 2024, they donated 20,000. In addition to 70,000 for Hoopla, and then another 47,000 for tables and chairs for the fam room.
Okay. I just want to point out how important Friends are to our library and that they are really, truly a large source of revenue. So go buy your books at the store. It's amazing how much money that they make from their very bargained books. So, and also please donate. Any donations at all, please drop them off because those are the ones that they use to sell, so.
And if I can just add, since we're talking about the things that the Friends have purchased and are doing, what the Friends are doing in the library, also note that the Friends meetings are open meetings since they are a public board, and they are the second Tuesday of every month. We'd love for people to come join us. If you join us, we might suck you in, I'm just saying.
And Sharice, what time are those meetings on Tuesday?
They begin at 5 p.m. and typically speaking, they were in the corner room downstairs, but because the Heritage Room is almost done, we actually are getting the boardroom back. And so when you come down the stairs, it's directly to your, like, you're almost straight on, but a little to your right. And so we're housed in there. And I'm not going to say how long we go, but depending on how much chattiness is involved, we sometimes go a little long.
Thank you.
Okay. There's no other questions. We'll move on to our Innovation Center update.
So I would like to go ahead and introduce this item before I turn it over to our team to present on it. First, this is our first time sharing this information with the library board. We have a really tremendous opportunity that we're really excited about that has been offered to the library to be the recipient of a $2.5 million grant from the state of California to help really invest back into capital improvements at the library, equipment at the library, programming at the library that will help foster innovation and workforce development for our community. So it's something that we are just really thrilled about. Our team has been in discussions with the city manager's office and within our staff to see how we could really help facilitate this and make this work within the library. And it's really coming at a tremendous opportunity with our strategic planning efforts. We've discovered through all of our outreach that innovation is a huge priority. Workforce development is an unmet need, and it's something that is really important to our community to see be offered through our library programs and services, and this grant will give us the ability to do that. It will also help tie into our downtown revitalization efforts. It will give us an opportunity to also focus on the library with some reinvestment, as well as the investment that we're doing along 6th Street. So overall, it's something that we just could not be more excited about. I don't want to take all of the thunder away from our team. We have Nicole McDaniel here from the city manager's office, as well as our library manager, Danielle Whittington, that's going to be providing more details about it. But I just wanted to preface their presentation with some background information on that. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Nicole to get us started.
Thank you, Donna. That was such a beautiful introduction to the opportunity. I'm Nicole McDaniel. Good evening, Chair and Trustees. Thank you so much for having me. I haven't met you guys yet, but I'm very happy to be here. And so, as Donna said, we are going to ask the Library Board of Trustees to provide feedback on the construction of an innovation center at the Corona Public Library. And we are able to do this because the city has been a recipient of $2.5 million from the state of California to establish this innovation center. And this funding can go toward construction, purchase of equipment, furniture, all of the things that Director Finch discussed. But what is an innovation center, you might be asking? And so a innovation center is a dedicated space designed to foster creativity, collaboration, and development. And it also provides resources and services to the community, helping businesses, residents, and students to innovate and develop new products or services for consumption. Specifically in Corona, our Innovation Center, pursuant to the grant, will focus on two primary functions: business services, events, training, and entrepreneurship development opportunities, and programs and seminars to provide youth and adults with career pathway training and STEM industry exposure. And so now I'm going to hand it over to Danielle, and she'll talk about how that fits into our library here.
All right, and as Director Finch already sort of teased with, this is the perfect opportunity for the library to have an innovation center. We are not only with our last budget, we were given some money to do an adult area refresh with a designer, but also with our strategic plan is almost complete. And so we took some of our key takeaways and engagement results, as you can see here, from which was the data gathered from the focus groups, from surveys, and the big picture ideas. And a lot of the common themes were people wanted welcoming spaces, people wanted better technology, and people wanted the ability to come to the library to learn more about job placement and job resources and upskilling. And then with that, the Innovation Center at the Corona Library, it's going to continue that momentum of the city's downtown revitalization program. And so all four corners of that historic, cross streets are going to be activated because of this innovation center at the library. So we're going to be able to enhance the library by using that $2.5 million in renovations and equipment, which is furthering that continued investment by the city. It also allows the Innovation Center to be at the hub of the city's knowledge and learning center, which is obviously the library. It's going to provide new programmable space for innovation programs for our teens and youth and adults. And lastly, for those that have no desire to go to a library, they don't like books, they don't like programming, but they might like a really nice laser cutter. So then we can get new potential, a new potential demographic to come and visit the library. And then to speak to some of the enhancements, we are, with this Innovation Center, we're going to be optimizing library space into additional programming areas. We're going to reconfigure the library floor plan to optimize space and use, not only for our library staff, but also for the patrons. We're going to enhance library program offerings through partnerships with schools and local businesses. This is already occurring, and from those discussions, we're getting a lot of excitement, knowing that they could potentially partner with us and provide resources not only for their students, but for their staff. And then lastly, we're going to be able to enhance the library's tech offerings. So this is the current library floor plan. If you were looking at the library from a bird's eye view, this is the southeast side of the library. This area, if you've ever been back there, the shelves are maybe a quarter of the way full. This is our nonfiction section. Some of the strengths of this area, there's natural light, which is conducive to good learning. The signage that we could have could face Main Street and the new establishments that are across the street, which help and enhance marketing. And on there it says approximately 2,500 square feet. It's actually a little bit larger than that because my tape measure couldn't go that far. So I just want to say that this is just a conceptual floor plan. This is just a draft of what things could look like. This isn't set in stone. And so the area that's in the bottom right-hand side of the map or the floor plan is where we were going to put the Innovation Center. And then you see all these other areas that are around. You see places for focus work, an open lounge, a focus lounge, open study. These are all just really fun ways of explaining what different types of furniture could go into these areas. And then if you also see here, we have we have 14 rows of shelving. And speaking with my staff, we decided that we actually want to move that bottom 4 rows of shelving up towards the open lounge, open study area. So the first thing that people see when they walk into the adult area are the books. Because essentially that is what we are. We are a library. We want to make sure that the books are not hidden. We want to make sure that the books are not stowed away. And so moving those four into that open lounge, open study area allows us to have this open, bright, welcoming space for the, not only for the Innovation Center, but for our visitors. Our estimated project timeline, tonight we're meeting with you to receive some feedback and then hopefully a recommendation that we can bring to the City Council. I think we're going next week to City Council to bring this presentation. November 2024, all the way to August, we will have the design process, which includes the conceptual design, plan checks, all the fun stuff that happens when you do construction. Construction, we really want to happen on or before September 2025 because we have a very firm completion date in June 2026. And we're ready to receive or hear any feedback regarding the construction of the Innovation Center.
Thank you very much. Ruth?
I mean, when I was reading this afternoon, I thought this is a whole new library and a whole new demographic. So I think it's very exciting. The library isn't what we used to, but I'm glad to see you're still going to highlight the books because we are a library and there are people, me included, who sometimes likes holding a book in my hand. How will the library provide services during construction?
So that's going to be part of the project management phase. And so we want to, let me rewind a little bit. So we also have a CIP for the library for new carpeting. So we want to make sure that all of this happens at the same time so we're not closed for a long length of time. So we're going to make sure that when we do the carpeting, then we're also going to be doing the removal of the shelves. So all of that flows at the same time. If we do have to close, we would still have options for people to click, park, and pick up. We had that service during the pandemic, and so we still want to offer people the access to books while we are closed.
Is there an idea of how long the library would need to close?
I don't have an idea right now because this is still in the blue sky ideal phase. And so, but we are all on the same page where we don't want, we want the downtime to be minimal.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, this is coming from the Friends side of me. The study carrels that we just purchased and were put in?
Yes.
How do those fit into this plan?
Yes, if you look back at the proposed floor plan, all of those quiet study spaces are the study carrels. So all of those are just going to be shifted over. We're not getting rid of those. Those are still probably our most popular and most used item in the library besides our books. It's always full. So we want to make sure that those don't go away and those are still available for our patrons. You're welcome.
Okay, Shirley, do you have any questions? Aisha?
I was just going to say it's exciting. It's going to be really exciting to see all of this come together.
Absolutely.
You know, from the before and the after.
Mm-hmm.
Be sure you take pictures.
I will, certainly.
Okay, a couple thoughts. Is there not any way, like ideally we don't want to have to close the library. So I know that even grocery stores stay open when they're moving entire shelvings, and Target during their remodel, they were able to stay open. So I would feel like that there's got to be a way where we can figure out a way to still be open, or at least have portions of the library still open. I don't want to have to, it wasn't ideal during COVID. We don't want to do that again and close.
So I can respond to that, Chair. It is definitely our goal to make the closure as minimal as possible. We were able to do it with the Heritage Room, keeping the construction schedule before operating hours. That's something we'll definitely look at. It is difficult because a library is a quiet space, and it is that Innovation Center is being constructed in an area that is kind of in the middle of our adult area. So there may be days, maybe a week, 2 weeks. If we have to close, it's going to be minimal. We are not planning to close weeks, months at a time. It would be very short, intermittent periods of time, if at all. But we won't know that until we actually have the construction schedule. But again, it's going to be probably one of our biggest priorities during the project timeline is to minimize the closures to the greatest extent possible.
Okay. And then what exactly is the $2.5 million going to cover?
Thank you. So currently, we are still in the very conceptual stages of this. So these are not firm purchases, but we are anticipating that it would cover any design and construction costs, furniture purchases for the Innovation Center itself and potentially outside of the Innovation Center, new technology such as laptops or a laptop checkout station. And we're also exploring it to see if there's any way that this $2.5 million can be stretched to cover the floor plan redesign as well.
Okay, and this is only for the specific area that is in this map, right? So like the children's area down where the Friends are, the fish tank and the study rooms, none of that is going to be affected?
I don't anticipate it. I mean, if anything, maybe paint and obviously the carpet, but I don't anticipate anything else.
Okay.
Just one more question, mostly I think for Danielle. So this sounds amazing, and it sounds like we're gonna have all this opportunity to bring in new people who might not otherwise attend the library. How are we gonna communicate those programs out? So I know we utilize social media as much as we can, and then also the Corona Connection. How else can we communicate that out so that we bring those people in? Like even some of the children's things that we do, I know the district utilizes something called Peach Jar, but I know that has a fairly hefty cost to it in order to get it out. So how do we get this out to as many people as we possibly can who may not have the technology? I mean, it sounds silly to think that people don't have technology for social media because I swear everybody is on it, right? But not everybody subscribes to social media. And so how do we get that out there?
So you actually touched on a couple of things. So we are one of the school district that we're partnering with is potentially CNUSD. So we probably are going to use Peach Jar to, especially with the cohorts that we would like to eventually create for them to go through the Innovation Center, so that's an option. We're also going to be working very closely with Economic Development. They were the ones that created, applied, and received this grant. So we're going to be utilizing that as well as any of the City of Corona communications and their team.
And as Ms. Whittington mentioned, we already have started conversations with the school district as well as the adult school for partnerships on programming. They have a ton of ideas, a ton of programs that they've already been in development on that they just need space for. So they have their student cohorts already that they have access to, that they can be able to share information to get them into the library for this programming, for the adult school programs, for the workforce development programs, as well as for the school age programs. We are looking at doing some cohorts with CNUSD where they would provide transportation to the Innovation Center for the after-school programming. So we are anticipating to really have kind of a built-in audience already through the school districts and the adult school, as well as being able to market additional services and programming that we'd be able to do through the library for our additional programs. So.
I have a question. So the Innovation Center is going to be open the same hours as the library, but you don't need an appointment to go in. They can utilize it during regular operating hours.
Again, we're still working out all of the operations portion of it, but since we have such a great interest from the CNUSD and the adult school, a lot of those times are going to be programmed out, and so it's probably going to be one of those where hey, I'm I don't know, I'm a professor of such and such. Come learn such and such at the Innovation Center from 3 to 6 or something like that. So those are plans that are far in advance, but we're hoping that for the most part of the day that it's going to be all programmed out for people to come in and enjoy.
You had said that they're going to be working with the economic development. And is that going to be involving businesses then, to get businesses involved in this with things that they need for, maybe they need people to understand technology and things for their businesses?
Yes, absolutely. So we've been talking with economic development. They have the relationship with those businesses that can then provide us with the information on the training that they need for their employees. We could potentially partner with the adult school to be able to provide those training opportunities. And I forgot to mention, Riverside Community College District is another partner we've been talking with as well. So we're looking to create this system where, especially when it comes to workforce development, that we could find out what the needs of our local businesses are, create training programs that we can then offer at the Innovation Center, and then push that out to their students in their cohort to be able to create this opportunity for them to hopefully land those jobs at the end.
That's wonderful, because things change so much. And I think that's really important to have that involvement with businesses and what they need, so that when people get through with this, they have a possible employer locally. That's great.
Okay, one other question. You just mentioned laser printer. I'm looking at the picture. It looks like a plotter, possibly for draft. Other things that are going to be in there, STEM related. How are people going to learn how to use these things? Is it our staff that's going to be teaching them? Are we going to have to hire additional staff to work in this space? What is the plan for that?
So a lot of the partnerships, we're going to have them come and teach how to use these programs, teach how to use this new technology. I believe that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we're not anticipating having to hire any new staff. We anticipate through our partnerships, we will be able to program that space majority of the time. And then any additional time that we would have available for drop-in use, we would then have our staff be able to occupy that space. But we anticipate being able to do that with our existing staff.
So for example, if RCCD provides somebody to put on a class, is that a free class for our community, or is that going to be a paid class that you can only attend if you're a student of theirs?
We are still working through those details. We have not gotten that far. That'll be part of the operations plan for the program.
Okay, and then one step further, then if that's the case, that it's not open to the public, are they going to be paying a fee to use the space?
The school district?
Correct.
No, we are not going to be paying them, or you mean them paying us? No, they're offering the programming. So we're still working through all those details. We haven't gotten that far into the plan yet.
Okay, I just think that that's an important component. Like we need to have a plan in place if we're going to have it built, right? So, and then also, is this going to be open to all ages, or because we have the kids maker space that this is the adult version?
We are still working through that, but I believe that the kids are still going to have their maker space, and then this is just going to be primarily for youth, teens, and adults.
And as we start to develop the programming plan, this is just right now introducing the concept so we could start to move forward with the construction phase and design. As we start to develop the programming plan and the operations for the center, we will definitely be coming back to the trustees with additional updates as well as opportunities to provide feedback. So this is not the only time you're going to see it. I just wanted to reassure you of that. We'll continue to bring you additional information as we proceed through the process.
So specifically, what are we asking City Council to do?
We're asking City Council to basically approve to move forward with the design and construction of the project. And that we're asking the trustees to recommend the project to the city council.
Any other questions or comments? I guess I do have one last one. This is just a conceptual design, you said, right? So if it's just a conceptual design, you want us, though, to make a recommendation to the city council for this conceptual design?
To recommend that we start design for the
To
project.
start design, okay. Thank you for the clarification. Okay, thank you.
And then if I can clarify too further, so if we recommend to start the design process, do bids go out for different companies to create a plausible design that we might adopt, and then they bid on that? Is that kind of a thing? Or are we like, this is the company we're using and the design that we're utilizing, so we're looking for more construction bids, how much is it going to cost to make it look like that?
So we will give them our concept, and then we will work with the design firm to be able to come up with, more firm construction drawings that we can then move forward with.
And will those be brought back to us?
We can come back with an update as we get closer to finalizing the project, correct?
Thank you. I think we would like that.
We're so full of questions tonight.
Okay. So do we need to vote on this? To make a recommendation to the city council?
Yes.
Is it Ms. Backus? How is this vote going to work?
Can we have a motion to approve?
I move that we recommend the concept as presented to our city council members.
I second it.
Trustee Leonard? Trustee Shirley Teller Hayes?
Approve?
Trustee Ruth Heineman?
Approve.
Okay, motion carried. And what is the date of that city council meeting? So we can maybe try to attend?
I believe it's the 3rd. Oh,
October-
I'm sorry, the 2nd. The 2nd.
October 2nd.
I don't know why 3rd is stuck in my.
Okay. Moving on to trustee communication. Does anybody have any trustee communication?
I think I speak for both Ruth and I. We are super excited about ReaderCon this Saturday. So we really, really hope that everyone will come out. We will be there from 10 to 1, right, Ms. Whittington? 10 to 1. We have 12 different authors coming. Our main author is Georgianne Irvine. She will kick us off. She works for the San Diego Zoo and writes books for kids with the zoo animals and things in them. Every kiddo that comes will get a goodie bag with a free book from Georgianne Irvine and a coupon for $2 off of any $5 purchase at the bookstore. And there are so many different books and authors for all ages, all the way through young adults. We have bilingual authors, we have educator authors, we have moms who are authors, we have people who want to discuss their craft and how they got started. Some of them are self-published and what that process looks like. And so there's going to be a craft. Our amazing children's librarians out at the library have created a children's craft for that day. so that everyone has the opportunity to walk away with something, as well as the authors will be selling their books so that if you'd like to purchase one and have it signed by an author of your choice, you can. We're super duper excited about it. I have probably $2,000 worth of children's books sitting on my table at home, waiting to be taken to the library for signatures with kids' names in them. We can't wait. We're super excited, and we really hope that you'll join us this Saturday from 10 to 1.
And just to add to that, the library staff has been absolutely fabulous at helping us organize this. There are 3 of us that had this idea, and I felt like a deer caught in the headlights sometimes. But the library staff just needs to be commended for the wonderful job that they have helped. I know that this is going to be a well-organized and wonderful event. So public, come on out. Thank you.
And if I can specifically just say, Danielle, Casey, Jennifer Bowserman, Martin, who am I missing, Danielle? I know him. April. Like Ruth said, it was an idea of 3, and we approached the library, and they're like, sure, bring it on. And we all sat down together, and it has just become this event that at first we were like, oh, we'll get like 5 people that come. And now we're like, oh my gosh, we might get like 300. That's a little scary. So we're really excited. And so thank you, Danielle and crew. And Donna, your library staff is amazing.
There's no other comments. Meeting is adjourned at 6:22.